everybody. How are you guys doing? This is Jaden from the Purl Up Dye podcast. Thank you so much for checking in with me and watching again today. I wanted to say welcome to my new viewers. I know I have a few. I've been watching, seeing on my email that I've been getting a few new subscribers, so that's pretty awesome. So welcome to you and welcome back to my returning viewers. Like I said, my name is Jaden, coming to you from Saskatchewan, Canada. Carie, you said that right. It made me laugh so much watching that podcast. You know who you are, and I will be talking more about podcasts later for any of those of you that don't know who that is. You can find me on Instagram as Little Prairie Purl, and you can find me on RAVELRY as Creations on a Whim and as Little Prairie Purl. And you can find my Etsy shop at littleprairiepearl.etsy.com. So today I don't have an overly long podcast. I don't have a whole heck of a lot to show. No FOs, a couple of whips, and a couple of announcements. So let's get started. I'm going to start with some things that, oh, no, what I'm going to start with, not my whips. I'm going to start with something exciting. So last week on my podcast, I said that at 500 viewers, I was going to do a 500 viewer, follower on Instagram. I was going to do an Instagram giveaway. And that day I actually hit 500. And I kind of held off until I had a few more. I think I hit 530 before I announced that because I kind of wasn't really expecting to hit 500 that day. And I'd said that I was going to make the announcement on the podcast. They didn't line up. So I waited a few days. Sorry, I'm just going to adjust my camera. Nope, I'm not. Okay, never mind. Maybe I'll just scoot my butt. There we go. So anyways, I hit the 500, so I waited a couple of days and I popped that up. So if any of you out there are watching this and you don't follow me on Instagram, go to my Instagram account. It is, like I said, Little Prairie Purl, and become a follower and share the photo with the hashtag Little Prairie Purl 500. Be a public follower, otherwise I can't see your entry, and you'll be entered to win. So the prize is wrong side, this side. I showed one of these last week. I had two, but I only have one for sale in the shop because I wanted to save one back. But it's a little sock project bag. Oh, it's so cute. Had a lot of good feedback on this one, and I cannot get more of this fabric. I looked, but it's an older line of fabric by Riley Blake, and it's just impossible to find. None of my Google searches found it, so that's it. One person win one, and one person can buy one, and that is the end of these bags, which is too bad because it's so cute. Oops, not focused. There we go. And so, sock bag. And then I dyed up some sock. No, it's not. This is sport weight yarn, but you can make a pair of socks out of it. And whatever project you make with this should fit in this bag, but they match so well. So you get those too. I'll show you it. Is it focusing? Boop. I hope so. Yeah. So this skein, oh, I love it. You know, sometimes when you work in the dye pots, you have an idea what you're going to do in your head, and sometimes it turns out, sometimes it really doesn't. Those skeins turn black. It's like lots of black dye, but this one, I loved it. It's got like golds and browns, this cherry red, and the cream. Oh my goodness, I love it. And it matches so well with that. Oh, so cute. So one of you will win it. I'm closing the contest on January 31st, so there's still a few days after this uploads that you can enter it, so go and do that. I have close to 200 entries, so your chances of winning are still pretty good, so I recommend you doing that. And okay, so now whips and FOs. Okay, whips. I have no FOs. Whoops. Oh, I do have an FO, but I've already given it away, so I'll have to insert a picture. Last week on the podcast, a couple weeks ago, I had been showing some fingerless gloves fingerless mitts, and I had one pair done and one pair I needed to start. I started and finished those, but my friend has already gone to Mexico, so the gloves or the mitts are gone. But I will insert a picture. I'll have to mark a note so I don't forget, because let's be honest, I'm drinking lots of coffee today. I likely will forget to upload the photos, but oh well. Everything is always, always, always on my Ravelry account. I have always been a meticulous project keeper on Ravelry. I don't remember things myself, and I like to, and then, you know, sometimes I go through and I'm like, I don't even remember making that, but I guess I did. I've got a project page for it, but yeah, so all the details will be there, so I won't share them here. Okay, what else then? Whips, I guess. I keep saying that. My goodness. Today I am working on, now I don't know. I think these may have to come out. I haven't had my daughter try them on, but we'll see. She's 9, but she's really scrawny. So I thought that these would fit, but I'm looking at them and they look kind of tight. So, but I've started her a little pair of socks. These are the cuff, little leg. These are just vanilla latte socks. Yep. I did a twisted 1x1 rib right here. I don't know how many rows that is, like 8 or 9. And then, yeah, this is the Felici macaroon. It was their sport weight Felici, that's discontinued. But I think I only cast on 48 stitches because it's sport weight with 2.25s, because I like to use a 2.25 needle for when I do my husband's sport weight socks. But I don't know, they're just feeling a little tight. So I have to have her try them on after school and see if they're going to be too snug. But I am going to try a new heel. And I thought, what a better way to do it than on a kid's sock with hardly any stitches. It should be faster then. But I've always done, every single sock I've ever made has been a fish lips kiss heel. And it's what I learned. How to knit a sock was my very first sock. I did that, and I've done it ever since because I figured it's easy. But I don't find that they fit my feet very well. I don't know. I don't know if it's the sock itself that doesn't fit my foot very well, or if it is that the heel doesn't fit well, so the rest of the foot isn't that great. I have no idea. So I thought, I'm going to try a different kind of heel and see if that helps. And then if that doesn't help, then I'll have to tweak something else. But I'm trying an eye of a partridge heel, a heel flap and gusset with the eye of partridge stitch pattern. That's the words. Come on. Stupid autofocus. Doesn't work when you want it to. Works real great when you don't care if it does. Hide. Well, whatever. Hopefully you guys know what a eye of partridge heel looks like. I didn't think it was going to show any texture because it's just slip one, knit one, slip one, knit one, and then the next row you purl, and then the next row you purl or knit one, slip one, you know, just opposite. And I was like, that's not doing anything, but it does. It makes a really slight, a little, like almost like a ginghamy kind of texture. Hey, there you go. There you can see it. So it's cute. I really like it. So I'm going to do that. So if it doesn't work, I'll rip it out. It's not a big sock. This took me about an hour watching podcasts last night, so no biggie. But yeah, this is the yarn. Like I said, it's Felici Sport Weight and the Macaroon colorway. Like it a lot. And I am using, I keep meaning to show this on my podcast because I love it so much. And I always have it beside me and I completely forget to show it. So I'm going to show it today before I forget. But I have been looking for a yarn bowl. I know they're not necessary, but I could not stand having my ball of yarn like shoved down beside me on my chair, and then it doesn't, you know, it gets stuck, or I give it a really good pull and it hits the floor, and I've got like myself and my two girls, we lose hair. And so it's like you pick up this ball and it's like hairball. Maybe not that bad, but it's like always like, oh, then you got to pick the little hair bits off. Gross. So yarn bowl, but I wanted a nice handmade one. I've been using a Tupperware bowl when I've needed when I've needed to use a bowl, but I wanted something prettier. So there in Saskatoon, every single year there is a craft show, like an artisan show, not a craft show. It's not, you know, it's a juried show, so really nice, high quality goods are in there. And every single year, I ask every single pottery place, do you have a yarn bowl? Do you have a yarn bowl? And every year has been, nope, nope, nope. And then a couple of years, they were like, that's a good idea. What are they? You know, or like, what are they? And then I tell them, and they're like, that's so smart. And so this year I went, like 6 vendors had them. I was like, well, finally. So I had to pick one. And I really liked the one that I got. So I was looking for something bright. That's not what I got. I got a black one, but look at the inside. Oh, isn't it gorgeous? I just love it. Oh, it's so pretty. And it's not shimmery or anything, like it's just the glass that's, or the glaze that's on there, but oh, I love it. And I really like this. It's got it's nice and deep. Like here, if I pop my ball in here, you can't even see it. Because a lot of the ones that I found online, when I took the measurements, because it says how deep it is, the sides were so narrow, so shallow, that I'm sure if I pulled a ball, it would just roll out the side. I'm like, what's the point of that? So this is really nice and deep. And then it's got these 3 little holes, which I never use because I'm not going to thread my string through there, because then if I need to take it out, it's stuck and then I have to trim it. So I always use this. But yeah, love it. It's super hefty and heavy, and it does not move. I keep it on my dresser, like kind of like, not, I don't sit in front of here, but I have another taller dresser that's like window height, and I sit in my chair beside, and then this sits kind of like about this height beside me, and I never have to worry about it falling off the table. So love, 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 love it. So glad I finally found one. The only annoying thing is that I found it almost immediately after getting to the show. I went with friends and they always knew I was looking, so they were like scouting out for me, and my friend Jody found it first. And then I had to carry it around for like 2 hours, and I was trying not to, like, I had a big bag over my shoulder, but I was trying not to like bang it on a table or something, because I'm like, oh, all I need to do is break my new yarn bowl before I ever got to use it. I'd be so upset. But yeah, so that's kind of like an acquisition, but not yarn. I guess it is an acquisition that's not yarn, but it's yarn related, so it works on the podcast. So another whip that I'm working on. Last week I had started my Girl from the Grocery Store shawl, and it was only this long, and it fit like right here. And I have some progress. Not very much. I have not had a whole heck of a lot of time for knitting lately. That will be coming up. The reason why will be coming up at near the end of the podcast. But okay, so last week I was like, I should have put a stitch marker in. Now I understand why people use stitch markers or progress keepers. I was like, eh. I think I was about here. So I haven't done a whole heck of a lot. You know, like it's not, but it's now shoulder width instead of like neck width. So there's been progress. So I'm really liking it. It's super squishy. And yeah, I showed you the yarn last time, but I'll show it to you again. This is a speckle I dyed up for it. Does not want to focus. So irritating. I don't know. Sorry guys. Someday I'll have figured this autofocus thing on. I don't know what it's focusing on. My sign, me, no idea, but whatever. Okay, so that, and then blue. Oh, sure, it doesn't that one. Okay, so those are my yarns. I'm hoping. I entered a couple of knit-alongs, and I've been a pretty bad knit-along enterer. Is that a word? It's my word. My word of the day. Everybody should have a word of the day. Enterer is mine. But anyways, so continue on. That was that one. So I've got 2 whips. Oh, and I've got 2 more whips. Last week I also talked about, and I kind of got a little teary-eyed and choked up. I'm a very emotional person. I was a little bit embarrassed, but I'm like, whatever. My sister assures me it looked like I meant what I said. I did mean what I said. This project does mean a lot to me, and I hope it will eventually mean a lot to my children. Maybe they won't even care. Wouldn't that suck? Oh well, I'm sure they are. My girls are sentimental like I am. Boy, my husband's in for it when we're all when they're teenagers and like the hormones and the emotions, and I'm emotional, and it's gonna be he's gonna need a vacation 5 times a year. Poor man. He has no idea. Okay, so anyways, continuing. I am doing a knit along with Not So Cute. They are a Not So Cute design shop, Kim and Tara. They are doing a year-long knit along. You do not have to participate for an entire year. You just do your cast on, you make your blanket. Some people are doing baby blankets, so I mean obviously they're not going to make it 365 rows long, because then it would be like this wide, and it would be like for a python. It's like, who needs a blanket that's basically a long skinny scarf, right? So yeah, so you don't have to do it for a whole year. You just have to do, it's the idea of it, right? And it has to take you like a little while, right? It's going to take you more than a month, because it's a, you know, 1 row a day kind of thing until it's as big as you want. But this is mine so far for my daughter Alora, which is the up. Started and ended with the same color right now, so it's just a strip right now. Oh, but I like it so much. Come on. I don't know. Seriously, I don't know how to get this thing to focus. Is it there? I don't know. I can't tell. But anyways, it is a crochet stitch. Obviously, it's a crochet knit. It's a crochet along. But I just picked a stitch that I found online. I think it was mypico.com, and I could not make heads or tails of her written instructions. I don't know. It's just like, I know how to crochet, and I was struggling with those instructions. But each of them comes with a chart, and I can read a crochet chart, because to me the stitches look like they're supposed to. And with knitting charts too, I can read those. I know a lot of people can't. And it's not for lack of trying. It's just like that part of their brain does not, like, everybody thinks a little bit differently, like linear or whatever. I'm not sure all the terms, so I'm not going to continue because I'll sound like an idiot. But somebody had likened it to being like dyslexic. You see all the letters, but they don't make sense. And same with the knitting charts and stuff like that. You can see it, and it just doesn't compute in your brain to make any sense. So I am thankful that I can read a chart, because if I didn't, I would not be able to do this based on her written instructions. It's like, what? She doesn't tell you how many chains to, like how many stitches to skip at the first, you know, it just says, I don't know. I'm not even going to give an example. This one actually was not too bad. I tried out about 4 crochet stitches from her website before. I had to get my sister to come help me. I'm like, Tara, read the instructions while I do the, you know, this. But I was like, no. So this is Alora's. I've got, I'm losing one. That's the nice thing about crochet is that, you know, if you pull them out like this, it's like, oh no, I lost some stitches, but it takes you 5 seconds to get them back. So not worried about that. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm a little bit behind, but I'm not pushing myself to do like one every single night, because I'm going to try to stretch it out for close to the year. It's an enjoyable project, and I've got 2 of them, so it makes it a little harder to work on both each night, because each row takes me close to an hour because I'm doing a stitch pattern. So it's like if I'm doing both every night, that's 2 hours to do 2 rows-ish. I'm getting faster now that I've got the pattern in my head, but I've got other things to work on. So I try to do like Alora's the one night and Evelyn's the next night, and that seems to be working a little better. So right now that's that is that. And oh, I got these awesome bags. I went looking the other day because I don't have a project bag that's big enough for a blanket, and I don't think I want to make myself one because it would cost for like a lot. Fabric is not cheap, so I went to the dollar store and I found these bags. I think like they're grocery bags or whatever, but the nice thing is they're huge, so I've got all the yarn in here, but they've got a zipper on the top. You can see all my yarns in there. Got lots. I've got 12. Oh, did I show them? I don't remember if I did or not. Maybe I didn't. Well, sorry if I did show it last week and you're seeing it again and you're like, oh my goodness, Jaden, we already saw that. Sorry. But I'm using Knit Picks Brava Sport. This is Tranquil. Marina. Dove Heather. Just throwing it on the computer. Mint. Just got a like, partial ball of this one because I got more, but this is alfalfa, I think. And then I'm just using like Brunate Softy Baby White for the 6th color. So let's see, where's my, so all together. Ah! It's like, you know what it's like? It's like people trying to show their fades. It's like, oh, it's all falling apart. But yeah, okay, so these are the colors plus white. I really like them. This is for my daughter who loves blue. So of course I'll make her a green blanket. It intended to be more blue, but I didn't get like just a blue skein. I stuck with the blue greens and then it gradually went into green. So, oh well, she'll love it anyways. She's kind of all that, those shades and those colors. So she'll love it anyways. So there's that one. Sorry. And then my other daughter, she loves pink and purples. So I got her a pink and purple bag. Same thing, zipper. So she is using, or I'm using for hers, Rouge, Fairy Tale, Cotton Candy, same thing, Brava Sport, Knit Picks, Blush, Soft Pink, Dove Heather as well. I wanted a couple of neutrals just so it's not so like in your face if a lot of the colors line up. And then this is the Softy Baby White Bernat. I think I said Bernate before. I always call it Bernate and I'm 100% that's wrong. It's Bernat. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm Canadian. I think things are like half French all the time, so it's Bernate, but no, it is not. It is Bernat. I've heard other people pronounce it, so not bad. I also used to call Felici till I watched a video from Knit Picks themselves and they called it Felici. Apparently it's a Italian word, so I butchered that for a long time. That was a little embarrassing, but what can you do? I learned. I call it the right thing now. Okay, so those are the colors for my daughter's Evelyn's blanket, and her blanket looks like this. And I wasn't planning this, but every single color has been used so far in stripes. And I didn't mean to. I cover up, I have recipe cards or whatever, like a flashcard that I punched holes in and then put each color, and then the things that I was grateful for. And I cover the colors up first, and then I think about it, and then I pick from the list, and then I show myself what color it is. And it just so happened that I've picked a different thing every day so far. Eventually I'll probably remember what colors I've picked for each thing, but for now I don't, so it worked out. But this is Evelyn's blanket. So I've done the Fairy Tale, the gray, then the blush, then the cotton candy, and then the rouge, and now the white. So like, it looks like I did that on purpose. I really honestly didn't. I was like, boy, I couldn't have planned that one better, but oh well. Then now, from now on, hopefully it will become a lot more random as I'm grateful. Maybe I'll end up with 2 whites in a row. Like, I don't know. But I love this stitch. It's just like shell stitches on top of each other, but you work some in the row below and you work some in the row above. And it's, yeah, the way they stack, they almost look like little, you know, rainbowy little half circle things. I like them a lot. This pattern is by Susan Carlson. It's a free pattern and it's called Illuminations blanket. So I really, really, really enjoy this stitch pattern. So like I said on my last podcast, I wanted, well, you have to enter the contest or for prizes and whatnot, you have to crochet it. So, and I wanted something a little bit more, that I had to think about a little bit more than a granny stripe. So I picked an actual, like a pattern and went nuts. So I've been enjoying that a lot. I've been, like I said, just 1 row or 2 rows a day. That is very manageable. And then I'll end up with a blanket at the end. So that's it for WIPs today. I'm done. So now I'm going to just talk about a few podcasts that I've been watching. I know I have so many. I watch so many podcasts. And I jump around. I watch one person, I'm like, oh, I love theirs. And then I mean to go back and watch the rest. And I don't know, I've been bad. There are so many podcasts. I mean, it's awesome. I love it because everybody can find someone that they just absolutely adore. So I watch the regular ones like most everybody else. I watch the Grocery Girls. I really like the Little Tailoress, Amy, her podcast. She's from England. Kay, the crazy sock lady. I like her. Who else do I watch regularly? Sandy from By the Lakeside. There we go. Yarn Enabler and Cozy Knitter. Theirs is Dye Another Day. I watched that one. I know there's more. Crafts from the Third Floor. I was watching Knitting Expat. I got horribly behind. Legacy Knits got horribly behind. Inside Apartment 23. I was watching that. Got really far behind. I'm so far behind because I keep watching new podcasts, but oh well. That's a nice thing. There's huge variety. But I wanted to mention 2 podcasts in particular that I have recently found within the last few weeks, and I really, 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 really enjoyed them so much. So the very first one I wanted to mention was Carie. She has the Creative Obsession podcast. And she is so funny. Like I was watching her and she like makes fun of herself as she laughs. Like there's been a couple times where I've been watching her podcast, like I've actually laughed out loud because she's so hilarious. I don't know. I was watching her last one. Not though she had just uploaded one yesterday or the day before. But what episode was it? I can't even remember. But as she was showing her Find Your Fade and she posted up and said it looked like a dickie, and it just made me laugh so much because she started laughing and then she couldn't stop, and then there was like a break, so I think she had to edit out some of it. But I really liked that. It made me laugh so much. But yeah, she's really enjoyable. So if you haven't checked her out, definitely do. I'll try to put the link down at the bottom, but it's the Creative Obsession and her name is Carie. So check her out. She's fun. And then the other one that I've been enjoying is a brand new podcast. Oh, I was going to say with Carie too, she's having her 1-year podiversary. So she's not a new podcast. It's just new to me. So, I mean, like I said, probably all of you have heard of her and I'm just been living under a rock. But the other one is a new podcast. I found her when she was like, had one video out and she only had it out for the day, and her screenshot kind of grabbed my attention. It looked fun, but it's called the Knitters Party Podcast, and she drinks beer on her podcast. She's always like, whoa, she's got a beer and stuff like that. She's so funny. I like her a lot. Meg is her name, Megan. You can find her around the internet as Meg311Yo. I'll put her information down here as well. But I love her. She is so enthusiastic. She laughs about everything, and her second podcast was about all these amigurumis, and I swear she had an army, like an armload of all these amigurumis that she made, and they were so funny. And she showed one. I'm sorry, Meg, I'm throwing you under the bus here. Macy Gray. Oh my goodness. She has this turtle that she named Macy Gray, and his little head, he's got this long neck, And then she's got like this little bulbous head on the top. And I laughed so hard. Oh my goodness. It was so funny. Because I was looking at it, I'm like, it looks a little inappropriate. And then she said, like, she totally knows that it is. And so she was making fun of her Macy Gray, but it made me laugh so, so hard. And I love a podcast that can make me laugh because, I mean, I'm all for watching serious podcasts too, but if they can make me laugh, I'm hooked. So love Meg's podcast. And she's kind of in between places right now. They lived in Egypt for a while, and now they went to Edmonton, Alberta, and then they went Michigan, I want to say. I don't know if that's right. I think so. It was a state that started with an M. I'm Canadian. I don't know all my states. Sorry. But they're moving to England, London, maybe. I'm not sure if it's London, but they're moving to England, and then they're going to move back to Egypt, I believe. So she's kind of like all over. So she doesn't have a huge yarn stash, and she's very much like me. She uses a lot of knit picks. She's on a budget, obviously. They're students and young. So I really love her podcast. So I reached out to her, and well, kind of back and forth. We were both like, hi, you know, she watched my podcast, and then I started watching her podcast, not knowing that she watched my podcast or anything. And then I sent her a message on Instagram just saying like, hey, congrats on your awesome podcast. I loved it, kind of thing. And we started chatting, and we've got something in the works. I don't know if I should announce it completely, but it's going to involve a budget, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We've been, you know, you think that doing a knit along or a crochet along or whatever is not that much, you know, it can't be that hard to throw one together. Everybody does it. We have been emailing, what about this? What about that? What about this? Ah, blah, blah, blah. So lots of details, but I think we've got it figured. We're not going to start it until March when she's more settled. Like I said, she's right in between a big, huge, like, intercontinental move right now. So it's a little hard to say, hey, let's do it today. So we're going to wait a little bit, but I want to put the feelers out there. So if you guys want, it's going to be based on a budget. So it's going to be low cost yarns, and yeah, knits and crochets are allowed because we do both. So I mean, we're not going to be exclusive one craft or the other. And yeah, more details to come. She is going to announce it on her podcast as well. And we both have groups. Oh, hey, that's something new I should have put in my admin. Sorry, Meg, stealing your thunder. She has a group, so go find her Knitters Party podcast group on Ravelry and check out her podcast on YouTube. It is awesome. I don't think you'll be disappointed. She's, like I said, very enthusiastic. She loves to knit. She's very happy, and she drinks beer. So, I mean, she can't be that bad, can she? So anyways, speaking of Ravelry groups, I have a Ravelry group now. There's 14 whole members. So if you would like to, go ahead and join me. So I'm not talking to myself. It's kind of sad. I got 3 whole threads started and like hardly any responses. So I'm like, it's kind of sad, but that's okay. I didn't announce it. So, I mean, I expect there to be more members soon. I hope so. But you can find it under the Purl Up Dye podcast group on Ravelry. So feel free, please go check it out. Yeah, so that was it for podcast today. Those 2 are ones that I've been watching like regularly. I think Meg is probably trying to get a podcast out fairly soon. I don't know exactly when she's filming. She doesn't have to tell me. She doesn't answer to my podcast schedule. So, but watch for her. And if you haven't, she's had 3. So she's not a hard one to catch up on. So go do that today. And yeah, that's about it for podcasty love, whips and stuff. But I have a fairly big announcement. My sister and I have been working super, super hard and in secret for quite some time, a couple of months for sure. But we have been working on opening a yarn shop. So not a like a brick and mortar yarn shop, but we have an Etsy shop now. So yeah, this is our big launch. We're so excited. We're called Midknit Cravings. I'm going to show you the logo. I've been posting some sneaks on my Little Prairie Purl Instagram account. And the yarn here for the giveaway, I can't even reach, my goodness. That had our label on it, so I had alluded to it a few times, but we have not made the official announcement. But we opened on Wednesday, just a couple of days ago, so that was really exciting. And yeah, so hopefully I'm going to show you, it's going to be a yarn parade for a few minutes, but I hope you'll stay and watch. We have been really, really enjoying ourselves. We started out with the idea that we were going to knit or create yarns for ourselves, because as you knit and as you crochet, you think, oh, I would love this color, and then you search forever and you don't find it or something like that. So we've been busily working on what we figure are some fun colorways and that we personally wanted for ourselves. And so we thought, you know what, if we want it, then I'm sure other people would love it too. So let's get started. I'm going to show you some of our colors. So we both adore tonals. I think I don't know, maybe they used to have a bad rap, but with companies like Malabrigo and Madeline Tosh and stuff like that, the tonal look has just completely, it's become a luxurious look, and we love it so much. So we are gonna definitely have some tonals in our shop. So we have neutrals, well, one neutral right now anyways. We've got a gorgeous gray neutral tonal here. This one is called Smoke and Mirrors. I like it. It's just this gorgeous, it doesn't really seem to have like a tone, like it doesn't read more blue or more green or gray. I mean, can't even talk. You know, some are like a more of a brown, taupey gray and stuff. This one seems like it's a very like neutral. I love it. So this is Smoke and Mirrors. And we have 2 bases right now in the shop, but we are obviously working on getting quite a few more. So we have a sport weight. This is what that is. And it is called our Comfort Sport. And yeah, so that's the gray. And then we have this gorgeous deep purple, which is called Velvet Plum. And on my Instagram account, my Little Prairie Pearl Instagram account, I have a couple of hat pictures that was made from this. So I'm working this weekend on writing up the hat pattern, and I'm going to do a call for test knitters. I already have one volunteer, so Polka Dot Sheep, if you're watching, you volunteered, so I will get you to test knit that for me if you would like. But yeah, I'll be needing 3 or 4 testers for sure, so I'll put that call out soon. So if you don't follow my Instagram, you might want to. And then, okay, so another tonal, we've got this one, it's called Berry Burst. And it is so pink. Oh, I love it. It's this gorgeous, let me see the tonals. This gorgeous, like, pop of hot pink. It's fun. I love it. It works really nice with this one. The 2 of them together pair really nicely together. And then, so yeah, we have those 3 tonals. We've got a couple more coming. I don't know, we just really like the pink and purple, I guess, because that's what we got first. But this one's a tonal and speckle together, and it's called Casual Friday. And it is a gray tonal with the specks of navy blue and charcoals, and oh, I love it. It works up so pretty. So we have that one, and then this one's a one of a kind. So in our shop we do have a few one of a kinds. Ones where we were trying out new colorways that we liked, and so they were like the prototype, and instead of just holding on to them or something like that, we threw them up in the shop because we thought, you know, some of you out there might really like them, and we love them too, but we only need so many one-offs, so we threw them in the shop. So there was a few that sold already, so that was really exciting. So there isn't a huge selection of one of a kinds, but you might find something in there that you like. This one I believe is sold, so it's kind of mean of me to show it, but I'm going to recreate this colorway because I really liked how it turned out anyways. But this one is called Chocolate Cherry, and it's beautiful, like chestnutty, chocolatey brown, and then it's got these like deep reds and this bright pop of red. Oh, it's so pretty. So yeah, the band, it says Chocolate Cherry one of a kind, but it will be probably one that we recreate at some point. There's that one. Love that one. And okay, so like I said, we have Comfort Sport, which was a 75 merino, 25 nylon superwash, and it's the crazy squishy. We love it so much. And then we also have a fingering right now. We're going to have some sparkles soon, but right now we just have the two yarns. And we have on that, it's called Sweet Sock is our fingering right now, and it is 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon. So it's nice and tough for socks, but it is also very, like, it's nice and soft. We like it a lot. But these are the two that we have right now. We have tonals coming in this line. They've been in the dye pots yesterday, so they're drying and they'll be reskeined soon. Hopefully this weekend we'll have them. But you may recognize this one. I've been using that one for my girl from the grocery store knit along and shawl. Sorry, I'm doing a knit along, but it's a girl from the grocery store shawl. And so we named this one. It's beautiful cream with all these colors, speckles. Oh, but this one is called Girl Next Door. So I want to knit all the things: blanket, sweater, hat, everything from this colorway. I love it, and it pairs really, really nicely because this color is in that one. This is Pink Mimosa, which is a semi-solid tonal as well. It's not as tonal as the sport weight ones, but it is tonal. Oh, so pretty. Love this one. So yeah, Pink Mimosa. So that's what we've got in the shop right now. Like I said, we're working on getting quite a few more in. We've got this one, the Velvet Plum and the Berry Burst, and we have a third one called Wine Knot coming, and it's like between these two. It's similar. It's like a deep color, but it's got a lot of pink in it. That works really nice with the three. We've got those coming in fingering. So yeah, and also for our shop, we're going to just dye once or twice a week, and we're just going to load new colors as they dry and as they get skeined up, so that we can constantly have something in our shop for others. We didn't want to do the crazy build up the excitement and then everything sells out in 30 seconds, because that's, as shoppers ourselves, we found that extremely frustrating when there was something that you had your eye on and you just can't get it. So and also just for us, we're younger. We're not as young as some, I guess, but we have young kids at home, and it doesn't work that well for us just to be frantically trying to keep up with orders or dyeing. And so we're just going to do it slow and steady. There should always be something in our shop. And yeah, new colorways will be coming. I know we have a lot of pink in there right now, which is kind of funny because neither of us are overly huge. I say this as you look at my pink over here. But I've got girls and I do love pink, but I love lots of colors. And right now our shop is dominantly gray and pink, but what can you do? We've got more colors on the way. I've got pages and pages and pages of colorways that I want to create. Tara, the same thing. She's got so many ideas. So we've got lots of dyeing to do. And we've been having so much fun. And I am not sure now. I filmed this part like 4 times because I just didn't like, oh my goodness. I sound like such an idiot. I am not very good at self-promotion. But anyways, our company name is Midknit Cravings. Yeah, and you can find us on Etsy at midknitcravings.etsy.com, and we have an Instagram account as well. Same thing, Midknit Cravings. Very easy to find us around the internet, and we really hope that you'll check our shop out. We have had a lot of fun. This has been a long time coming. We've been talking for years about possibly opening a yarn shop, but just our location is just never going to work for us, and so this is the next best thing. We are having a blast doing the dyeing. We're having a lot of fun with all the whole element of it. And yeah, so we hope that you will check it out and that you will like what you see. But yeah, I guess that's it for me this week. I wanted to thank you all again so much for watching, for checking us out. And yeah, I don't ever know what to say to close. Like Amber says, have so much fun with your knitting, which is so true. But I don't know. I have to think of a good tagline for mine. But anyways, until next time, you guys take care. Bye.